whatever black man you're dealing with at the time, you have to figure out what it is that he requires from you in a relationship. Everybody is different. So, I mean, I guess a general overall of a black woman acting right, what do they say, is fit, feminine, and submissive. That's what fit, feminine, and freaky, as they said that one time.
Does the threat of black men leaving the country to find love scare black women?
No.
No,
Does
there's
it
still
promote you
plenty
to
of black
act
men.
right?
No,
You
it does
have to
not.
act right. That's the problem.
No.
No,
No.
there's still plenty of black men here.
We want
Just
you to
like there's
find
plenty of
happiness.
black women here.
So
There's
wherever
still
you find it.
quality men and women, black men and women, that are still here.
Agreed.
You just gotta, you listen, you gotta find them where they at. You gotta
So
start.
let me ask y'all a question. This is off topic. What would it take for black women to act, according to men, act right?
That's
Wait, say
subjective.
that again?
Act right. I think
So
act right for every man is
listen.
different.
So what would
What everything that we say is not whatever we say. Men are not going to agree with it. So it
you
is
learned
what
that
it is.
last night, huh?
I think that's
Yeah, I
the
learned that last night. Whatever we say,
I think it's
we're
different for
never going to
every
be
black
right. So
man. You have to, whatever black man you're dealing with at the time, you have to figure out what it is that he requires from you in a relationship. Everybody is different. So, I mean, I guess a general overall of a black woman acting right, what do they say, is fit, feminine, and submissive. That's what fit, feminine, and freaky, as they said that one time.
Y'all, he said, y'all trying to talk, we sound bitter trying to talk black men out of traveling.
Look at the president of the passport bro.
Nice and
I think listening with the intent of comprehension is fundamental. You have to be intentional about that. We are not by any means necessary trying to deter anyone from traveling.
Sorry,
was
I'm trying
not
to get
the
that off,
purpose
and I
of the
can't.
conversation.
As a matter of fact, I encourage traveling.
Yes.
It broadens your horizons. You meet, new people. It expands your experiences, and actually, I think it'll make you a better catch.
It does, because
For
we're
So
sure.
dating.
no, not at all. Nobody's hating.
I love to travel, so you need a passport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need one of those.
It's the mindset that traveling overseas, to get the woman to, yeah, that's like weird.
So since y'all,
It is like,
so let me, is there a certain guy that you would be offended if he were to, like, is there a certain quality of a guy that you would be, because what it sounds like is just like, okay, usually the guys that we go for aren't those guys, but is there a certain guy that if all those certain kind of guys were to go over to get a girl, that would be like an eye opener?
I'll let y'all answer that. I have mine.
So what it sounds like is it's not a threat because it's not the guy that you technically want. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
say it again.
So basically, what it sounds like to me, because when I ask the question, does it scare you that these guys are going? What it sounds like is no, it doesn't scare you because it's not the guys you typically go for anyhow. But if the guy that you typically go for, if a mass majority of them were to go over to another country to find a woman, you would care. So what does that guy look like?
The guy that goes over to another country that I would care?
Yes.
I don't think I would, honestly.
You still wouldn't care. Okay.
I wouldn't, because like if you're, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like if you're not interested, you're not interested. And to be in your feminine space, to know your self-worth, I'm not pressed that you're not pressed about me. You know what I mean? As a woman, I don't go chasing for men anyway. So I'm here. Period. And so
I gotta act, I love these questions right here because I do a lot of research on this. So the high value men in the US are married Latina, white, and Asian. Y'all are
I saw that one too. I was ready to jump
being
on.
single. Listen, my brother, I had the opportunity to Google every CEO of a Fortune 500 club because I like small sample sizes, and every billionaire, guess who they're married to? A black woman. Sorry to bust your bubble. They
And
all got black women.
And it's
And let me add to that.
and it's
The research that I found showed that most people, when they are marrying, typically it was mostly Asians and Europeans, that they weren't marrying black. They were after other white men, other whites. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
It's not a
Absolutely.
majority. It's not
Yeah,
even
but it's not the
let's be
majority.
fair.
The stats are just saying that, and honestly, it may be offensive, but the truth is the truth, just based on the research. Black men and black women are least valued when it comes to
Other
other,
So
ethnicities and cultures across the board.
and
listen,
according to the
So,
census.gov, 85% of black married men are married to
to
black
black
women.
women,
So
and you have to remember, even if you're talking, so if you have 10, look at this, let's put this in perspective. If you have 10 black CEOs of Fortune 500 company, and you say 20%, that's 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. So don't let those numbers fool you. It sounds, but it's really not like it is. And I really took, if you guys can take the time now, I'm sure you're at home not doing anything, Google it, and it's gonna have all these names, and then just put in their wives, their name with their wives, and they're gonna be black women. Black women.
Mhm.
and while y'all doing that Googling that Shantae told y'all to do, get them likes up.
Get the likes up. And
Yes.
I'm not trying to knock it. I mean, we should be promoting black love. Like black women, I mean, just like they married black women married them. There should never be an issue. It should never be a time when we're like, ugh, like we're not going against each other. The goal should be to put black people together. So I don't understand that whole, well, like a got you moment. I'm sorry, that's my personal assistant. I got you. Good night. So, sorry, y'all. I'm in Alabama, but it should not be a moment where it's kind of like us against you. We're on the same team. I don't understand that. This whole point is not to bash black men. We're not doing that at all. We're just giving you facts. We love you. We want you to be happy. Believe it or not, we do.
Mhm.
At least I do.
the facts stir the pot a lot.
I think that's what it is. I think a lot of people, I know guys get on us about speaking in emotion or emotional, but a lot of times the stuff that I'm hearing, the rhetoric, and I'll call it as it is, that I'm hearing is not reflective. Like the data doesn't support what they're saying. Now, it may be true based on the group of people that they hang out with, right? And so that is not necessarily, that's anecdotal, data, right? It's very limited to your experiences. Like birds of a feather typically flock together. So if you high value, more than likely most of the people you rock with are going to be high value. And so your the way that you're seeing things is going to be skewed to your experience. But when you look at the data and you're taking a larger sample size, a larger population, the data does not support that same experience. So when we're saying things like that, I think men are taking it as, oh, we're trying to scare them to not go find love overseas. Oh, we see these other women as competition. I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's like, if you're going to make that decision, make sure you make that decision being informed. That's really what it is.